Live here in a second. I'm sure we're going to be going live in a second. All right, we're
All right.
officially live. It's on. What's
Good morning,
up, Eric?
Tillman.
Good morning.
All right.
All
Here we are.
right. So, what's your positive focus?
My positive focus is I was thinking about it last night, just kind of moving into a lot of uncertainty in my life currently. And, there's, a lot of things happening around me in my interpersonal dynamics with the people around me. And, I've got an awesome fallout plan. If all else fails, my worst case scenario is like what a lot of people dream about.
That's actually true.
Go live in Hawaii and like do whatever I want and like live a good life there. Like eat fruit off the tree and have my art studio right there. And so I mean, worst case scenario, I've got an awesome case scenario.
That's cool. That's cool. Awesome. Well, I'm wearing my new birthday Norwegian sweater that I got from my sister and my dad, and I'm after this show I'm going to go meet my dad for brunch with my kids and say hi. I haven't seen him in a while, so we're going to go meet at the new Putney Diner, which is Putney Diner's been the same place for like 30 years or something.
Oh, cool.
And they just moved across the street into this what has been a very fancy, very nice restaurant for a long time that recently went out of business. And so they upgraded and expanded and went from kind of like a old local diner to a big fancy diner or something. I don't know.
Okay.
So we're gonna go have some brunch there, and
nice.
I'm looking forward to that this afternoon. Not this afternoon, this morning. So there's a lot of stuff we could talk about, but I mean, the post description talks about entrepreneurial isolation. And this is, by the way, everyone, this is episode 32 of the Get Shit Done Show. We do the Get Shit Done Show every single day, and we start on the first of the year, 2025. And this is episode 32. So today we're talking about entrepreneurial isolation. We're going to talk a little bit about support. Sometimes getting it, sometimes not feeling like we're getting the support that we need from friends and family members and people that we care about and people that we love and people that love us. And then there's also sometimes we get feedback that we don't want or that we don't find immediately helpful, and it's difficult to deal with. And what do you do when this is happening, right? So, Eric, I'll let you open this. Where do you want to go to start around this topic? Do you want to talk more general? Do you want to talk more specific to you? How do you want to dive in?
Yeah, I mean, maybe somewhat more general, but yeah, something that I've encountered at different points in my life and I'm currently experiencing also is just kind of the dynamic of when the people around you, people that you're close with and care about and love a lot, don't fully understand the mindset involved with entrepreneurship. And I totally understand that. And it's a challenging dynamic because there's aspects of entrepreneurship that seem like just a lot of work from the outside looking in. There's no. There's
no seam.
No, yeah, exactly. Okay. It's a lot of work.
Being an entrepreneur,
is
a metric shit ton of work.
Yeah.
Most of which is wasted. And I don't genuinely mean it's wasted, but most of the work is failure and learning from it. Especially
That's exactly true.
Especially if you've never hit it big for your first time, but even if you have, then you have some belief, some like founded belief in yourself around that you can, but before you've made your first $1 million, for example, right? like you don't know that you can do it at a deep level. You know what I mean? Like in theory, you can do it, right? Other
Yeah.
people can do it. If other people can do it, I can do it. But you don't have the experience.
I don't have the experience of having done it yet.
You also don't
But
have the
I
conviction.
have the belief that I can do it. And
So yeah, dude, let me throw this out at you. Like
yeah.
when you started,
Mm-hmm.
so you're like, well, what, sometimes people around you don't fully understand the entrepreneurial mindset, right?
Yep.
So my first question is, do you fully understand the entrepreneurial mindset? No. Okay. No. Okay.
Okay.
And like you're struggling with it too. So bear that in mind, is that
Okay.
you're confused too. Okay. We all are. But like you still have a lot to learn too. And
Absolutely.
you're barking up the wrong tree in certain areas. Like you're doing, like you're making progress, but you're still doing all sorts of stupid crap that's not paying the bills. Like that's
Sure.
that's not making you the money that you want to be making.
Right.
Right. So like if you were selling $5,000 to $15,000 Kagan package 5 days a week, like your shit's together. Okay.
Right.
That's not happening right now.
Yep.
And does it have to be a long road? No, it actually doesn't.
Right.
It might be. It might be. But like, yeah. So as you were saying, there are people in your life,
Mm-hmm.
brothers, sisters, parents of yours, in-laws, perhaps, your own kids when they get to a certain age, friends, old friends, new friends, co-workers if you have a job. There are all these people in your life who either aren't entrepreneurs or have failed at being an entrepreneur.
Or are too scared to try.
Yeah, they're not entrepreneurs, or
Yeah.
or it's just not their path.
Sure.
Maybe it's not they're too scared. Maybe it's just not their thing.
Yep.
Right? Like, not everybody's meant to be an entrepreneur. It's
Exactly.
like saying that not everybody's meant to be an Olympic figure skater, dude.
Absolutely.
You know, like
Yep.
most people could do it if they dedicated their life to it. Not everybody, but most. Like if you really dedicate your life to something, you're certainly going to get pretty darn good, right?
Right.
Even if you don't win the gold medal. But like, okay, so how does this, like, to the degree that you can share about this, how does this manifest? Like, how is this like coming up for you right now?
I think how I feel it's most significantly coming up for me right now is just putting unfathomable amounts of time and energy into activities that I believe in my core are going to bring me a lot of money in the big picture, but aren't immediately having those returns. And not feeling fully understood in that, and also feeling like I need to be working harder, getting immediate results, and in doing so, run myself to a point of burnout to where I'm not showing up enough in the relationships around me.
Yeah, dude. So this is interesting. So there's this idea. I don't know if I've ever shared this idea with you. I modified it. But so here's the idea. As a human being, this is true. It's also very, very true for entrepreneurs or anyone who is actively pursuing money or something else that you're actively pursuing. Okay. Trying to change your life, improve your life. You're trying to get something. Okay. Trying to change the current situation. Right. So this is a coin. This is a quarter. It's not a magic quarter. It's a standard issue US quarter with a president on one side, and I think that's a Georgia peach on the other. Anyway, one side. So this quarter, this coin, it represents. You could say that it represents every interaction or every choice you make. This is, this coin represents a choice. It has two sides. It has two sides, and one side is you getting what you want. It's you going after what you want. It's you pursuing what you want. It's you driving toward what you want. You're going after it. You're going to get it. And every conversation you have with a person, this coin's at play. Are you going to focus on getting what you want out of that person, out of that situation, out of that interaction, extracting what you want, taking it, manipulating your way to it, finding a way to get what you want? Or the other side, unfortunately, this is a binary choice. You can't choose both, is caring for the relationship. That doesn't mean always being nice. That doesn't mean, but it's being honest and caring and nurturing for the relationship between you and the person, between you and the space you're occupying, between you and the meal that you're cooking, or the kitchen that you're cleaning after you cook the meal. It's while you're working, it's between you and yourself and your work, right? But are you nurturing and caring for the relationship as your primary focus? Or are you focusing on getting what you want? And when you focus on getting what you want, the relationship doesn't usually work out. Okay. That's the issue. That's the hard part. And you got to, as entrepreneurs, we got to focus on what we want. We're trying to grow. We're trying to expand. We're trying to create. We're trying to, in many cases, make more money. Right. But, it's kind of like a garden, your farm in Hawaii. It's just like, if you don't, at least, I've never had a farm in Hawaii, so I'm kind of talking out my ass. It's kind of, there's stuff that's growing all the time, whether you do anything or not, is my understanding. But
right. But the weeds will take over.
Think about it like a garden, more specifically. If you want to grow and cultivate certain things, right? Certain vegetables, certain fruits, whatever, the weeds will take over. There are harsh and difficult weather conditions that happen depending on where your garden is, right? Sometimes it'll rain too much. Sometimes it'll be too hot. Sometimes the animals will come in. Sometimes the insects will come in. Sometimes the fungus will come in. Like, there's all sorts of stuff that can mess up your crops. And so if every relationship, is in that garden and is a seed and is a plant, and you're there taking care of it every day, is your primary focus, like, we both know that you're going to have everything you need. But that's the long game. And it means, like, really taking care of your business, taking care of yourself, and taking care of the relationships and people around you all at the same time, and including all of it. And it's difficult to do and to maintain, and humbling, and, like, people will give you feedback when you're screwing this up. And, often that's what's happening in these situations. Right.
Okay.
So it's like, First of all, this is a overly simplistic answer, right? But it works really good in my experience. Is, do you have a regularly scheduled date night? Once a
Been
week.
kind of haphazard.
Okay, that's all I needed to
yeah.
hear. So, step one, schedule it. Okay, schedule a date night, same time, every week. Sometimes you're gonna have to change it. Sometimes you're gonna be sick. Sometimes something else is gonna come up. Whatever. But the consistent part, schedule the date night. All right. I mean, assuming that you're both into it.
Right.
Right. But this is a example of setting aside the time, prioritizing the time, making the time, and then being fully present during the time. It's there, and you're both committing to it. Now, this can happen in a romantic relationship. I have a scheduled date night every single week with one of my kids. I switch off on Thursday nights. We used to do it on Wednesday. Wait, no, we used to do it on Wednesday nights. Now we're doing it on Thursday nights. But we've been doing it for years, and I switch off with every other kid. It's, and so I meet with one or two, usually two, of my running partners on Sundays, and we run together. This week we're running together today at 1:30, right? Cool. Yep. So this can happen with friends, and it's the same with work parties for business and get shit done. Like, you want the relationship to blossom and grow, set the time aside. Okay. But date night is only the beginning. So start with date night. It's a simple action. You can do it right away in most cases. Right. But like, if your body is getting out of whack and you end up in the ER, or like you get fat, or like something's wrong, that because you're not taking care of your body well, then a good example of something to do is to start scheduling in 3 times a week at the gym and hire a personal trainer and take care of your body. So scheduling in the time to take care of the relationships in your life is a big piece. Scheduling the time in isn't, and then you have to be there and be present and not be, doing stupid crap like being on your phone and stuff. But date night is one example. Another example is dinner. You may find yourself, I don't know, like, everybody's different, but you may find yourself in a relationship, or with a housemate, or whatever, whatever the situation is, with someone that, like, it's really important to have dinner at the same time together every night. Right. Schedule it, prioritize it, make it happen. Most of the time, don't let other shit get in the way. It's so that's a way of like a very practical, tactical way of proactively blocking out time to take care of certain relationships, and at the same time, doing your best to block out time to take care of your business and all that stuff too.
Right. And self-care as well. Otherwise, everything else kind of falls apart.
Yeah, no, I mean, the reality is, if you're in a relationship, like a romantic relationship, and you're running a business, and you're paying attention to your body and your health, and you're cooking and making healthy food for yourself, basically your entire day is scheduled every day from the time you wake up to the time you go. Like, you're not going to have a lot of free time if you're trying to pull all that stuff off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. If you're okay with however your body ends up, then maybe less intense. If you're okay with whether, with how, or maybe you've already figured certain things out and whatever. But if you're working if you're starting a new business, you're in a fairly new relationship, you know what I mean? Like, especially living together, right? Like, these things take time. They really do. But dude, you're never going to get the support you feel like you need. You're never going to, like the only time that happens is when you take everybody out to dinner.
Right.
Okay, then people are like, dude, you're rocking it. Way to go. You made it was worth the struggle, worth the effort. Nice, But I found that I was thinking about this before we live streamed,
Okay.
is that if people aren't supported, like don't feel supportive of you in your entrepreneurial efforts, let's say, it could be anything, but we're talking to entrepreneurs mostly right now, then the only time people get mad is when their internal self-talk can't keep itself internal and it comes out. All right. And so it's like, if someone doesn't have the belief in themselves that they could do it,
Right.
and they care about you, they're going to have that same belief about you. And it's not
I feel
about
that.
you. It has nothing
Right.
to do. It literally has nothing to do with you. Right? Like that's
Right.
when people get all freaked out about stuff and conflicts happen and arguments happen and all the blowouts happen. Right. And so it's like, at the same time, it's very easy to avoid doing the stuff that'll actually make you the money and to feel like you're working, but you're not actually doing anything to change your financial situation in the next 7 days. And there's so much that you can do. So that's like the dollar sign and shit, is when we do get this type of feedback from our, usually it's family or something similar, you know what I mean? Like close friends and family, that they're worried about us and they wish we would do something different, or they want us to get a job, or like all this kind of stuff that doesn't feel supportive. Usually it's because they need to feel secure and they want you to be secure. And you know, and that lack of security is scary. And some people have a higher tolerance for it. Entrepreneurs have to develop a higher tolerance for insecurity and uncertainness. I would say entrepreneurs have to enjoy it to a certain degree. I know I do. And so part of it is when these situations come up, it can also be a wake-up call for you to do something that's going to make more money in the next 7 days. Adjust doing because like you're getting feedback from the universe that says, dude, wake up. You're not doing things quite right. You might be working hard and maybe there will be a long-term payoff, but that doesn't mean that you don't have to do the things to get the short-term payoff.
Absolutely.
Right.
And I mean, part of it too has been just being it's been a lot of training this week.
Totally. Yeah. This has been, no, you did 3 full mega days of training. Plus you're doing a daily hour-long live stream.
Yep.
Most people don't do that at all.
Right.
Or anything close.
But yeah, no, I do agree. There's things that I could be doing that I haven't been doing.
Yeah.
Yep.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Mm-hmm.
So like, for example, you could build your first, I think, proper call getting funnel. You can make a video. You could put it in Go High Level.
Yep.
You could run a split test on 2 versions of the page, and you could book calls and or some variation of that, a call booking funnel. You could build a call booking funnel and Go High Level, and then find a way of promoting that call link directly or indirectly, publicly on Facebook or in your Facebook group every day.
Right. Okay.
And you could be booking calls every day right now.
Right. Okay.
And like if your goal is to have at least 1 sales call every day and to take the actions immediately toward making that a reality, that will come like one way or the other, whether it's Kagan related or whether it's Get Shit Done related or something else. Like if you know that the way that you make money is by having sales calls, then book some sales
Book
calls.
more
Dude.
calls, right?
Kick it into high gear. Book the calls. Like that's not like take the, and if you don't know what to do, call your upline, tell them you need more sales calls, ask them to ask you some questions and take a look at what you're doing and tell them how to, and be like, I need to pull my head out of my ass. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong here. Smack me around, please, so I can make you some money.
Right.
They'd love to smack you around, I'm sure, in the loving way, but call your upline and ask them what you're screwing up. And I'm sure they'll tell you, but, I would, another example, okay, is, and you're moving toward this, okay? It's not like you're not making progress, but you already know this, but you might not be actively thinking about it. So, again, this is a practical example of, okay, well, how can I spend a little bit more time taking actions that will result in money faster? Right? Money-making activities. And to the best of my knowledge, right now, your only money-making activity is doing a sales call. Right?
I mean, yeah, that's the only thing that directly links.
Yeah. Or creating a video or doing a webinar that pre-sells people on the sales call.
Exactly, yeah.
Or generating leads.
Yeah, I mean, there's all the
right,
dots,
yeah,
but like the last two dots of
like none of the shit works unless you do sales calls.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
And so in this situation, so my recommendation is like, next webinar, have a registration page. And I just built one like this so that in Zoom, I hadn't built a Zoom webinar landing page myself in probably a year. And I know that things are updated or changed, but I just did this. So in Zoom with a webinar page, you can, in the branding section, I looked it up, you can change your thank you page. So, so you could very easily build a webinar registration page today and record a video that says, "Hi, I'm Eric. Thanks for registering for my webinar. So great to have you here. Chances are pretty good that you're either interested, chances are pretty good that you're interested in network marketing and exploring the Kagan opportunity with me. So we're going to be covering some awesome stuff on the webinar. I just sent you an email with all the details from Zoom, blah, blah, blah. But I want to give you a heads up on some of the things that we're going to cover and why, so you can get excited and so on. So, and then you do it like a 10-minute, 5-minute video telling them, like doing an overview, high level, tell people so, this is what we're doing. This is what's going on. If you are already familiar with Kagan and you're already somewhat familiar with the opportunity and you want to talk sooner, I have a few spots on my calendar. There's a button below. When you click it, my calendar will open up. I have a few spots available before the webinar. So if you want to cut the line, get in front of everybody else, and we can get on the phone and just talk through whether or not this is something that actually makes sense for you or not, then I would be happy to help you out. Go ahead and book a call. Right?
Yeah, that's good. Yep.
So maybe 10% of the people that opt in for your webinar are going to book a call. Maybe it will be more. Maybe it'll be less. Doesn't really matter. Some of them will book a call.
They will.
You can shoot the video from your phone. You can upload it to YouTube, so you don't have to pay any money for a video service if you don't want to. You can stick that video up on a Go High Level thank you page on your Go High Level account, and you can use that as your page to redirect to after people opt in for the webinar from Zoom. And and that way you don't have to build your Go High Level opt-in form for your webinar, and you don't have to integrate your email in with Zapier and all that other garbage that you have to do. You can just go Zoom directly to outside thank you page, book calls, and you could be promoting your webinar for next week by this afternoon, generating opt-ins and probably generating sales calls
Facts. Yeah, that's true.
And you have all the tools and you have all the knowledge, and this is not a new strategy.
Right.
Like you've known about this strategy for a long time, I think. Right.
Yep.
So there are definitely different actions that you can take that will lead to faster cash. So don't fool yourself on that. And there's tons of stuff that you're not aware of and that I'm not aware of, or not currently aware of anyway.
I'm sure. Right.
Right. Yep. So don't let don't justify it's a lot of work now for a payoff later, because it might not be a payoff later. Pay off now and pay off later.
Right.
But when you need to pay the bills now, pay the bills now. But what I would really recommend is that you're not going to get the kind of entrepreneurial emotional support that you want and need from people who aren't either extremely seasoned entrepreneurial veterans who've gotten their ass kicked over and over and over again and got back up and done it and know that they can do it, so they know you can do it too, unless and this is a superpower that apparently I've been told many times. And I have this super unbelievably optimistic belief that I can do almost anything. And as a result, I tend to believe that other people can do almost anything too. And I'm like, dude, what are you waiting on? And often, whether it comes in through in hypnosis or marketing coaching or whatever, people often feel very supported by me because I'm I have unrealistically optimistic expectations for what they're capable of, and
I can relate.
And so it's that's fine, but not everybody rolls that way. Right.
Yeah,
and,
sure.
And so if you get pushback, it's because people they care about you and they want you to be more stable and more consistent.
Yeah, I feel that.
And there are things that you can do in order to achieve that, even if the feedback isn't delivered in the most friendly way or the most supportive feeling way.
Right.
Yep. Where do you another piece to this puzzle, dude, is get more entrepreneurial friends. Honestly, spend more time talking to more people that are ahead of you on the curve.
Right. Yeah, no, that's something I do spend some time doing. At one point I was spending a lot of time doing that, and it was awesome. And I noticed it really affects my mindset and my level of self-belief, and just all the while making great connections and friends with people that are way ahead of me and I can learn a lot from.
Yeah, dude, I would consider looking just look at something like meetup.com and see if there are any entrepreneurial or sales or network marketing meetups happening in your area.
Okay.
And start going to them and meet other local entrepreneurs.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Right.
But I don't know. Do you have any other thoughts on this or responses to anything that we've discussed here today? Where are you at?
Yeah, I mean, one thing that comes up is just all the stories I hear from people that are way ahead of me that have created just tremendous success in their life. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Tremendous success in their life, and the stories of tremendous struggle they've gone through, where years went by where they weren't making any money, literally years where they didn't make
my girlfriend, so I've been in a relationship for almost 2 years now. And my girlfriend was like, wait a minute. Are any of your friends successful, long-term? Did any of your multimillionaire friends learn how to hold on to the money? And the answer is yes, some of them. but many,
Yeah.
many of them make a lot of money and, you know, become multimillionaires, and then like everything crashes and burns, and then they have to do it again and again, often 7 times.
7 times. That's the magic number.
Is that you have to like make and lose $1 million 7 times before you pull your head out of your ass and you actually figure out how to like manage and take care of it and grow it, you know. And sometimes people learn faster than others, and sometimes people don't learn, you know. So it is not an easy path.
Right.
It's not easy.
Yeah, it's not. But I love these stories, and I hear them from so many of the people that I've been connecting with and following. It almost seems like the vast majority of them started off in a difficult situation with very little or average situation. Some of them with tremendous debt. Some of them didn't make any sales at all for 3 to 5 years. And then through that time, they were constantly learning, working on themselves, developing their skill sets, and then got success and got a lot of success. And I see myself on that journey, and I really relate with those stories a lot. It's like, I don't know, I learned about the, Epiphany Bridge and the hero's journey, something that Russell Brunson talked a lot about during the training I did earlier this week. And yeah, reflecting back onto these various stories I've heard from different entrepreneurs over the years, like I see myself in their journey. And
Right.
just at an earlier point where, yeah, it is. It's a tremendous amount of work. It's a tremendous amount of commitment, and you don't always see the immediate returns. And
No, and sometimes you have to wait for luck to strike for things to all ignite. Like you don't have to wait, but like sometimes that's the spark. And so like I remember when I met Branson, he talked about luck, and I was pissed because I like
Richard Branson you're talking about.
Yeah, I didn't believe in luck. I was like, fuck luck, like luck is so bogus. That's just like a cop out, and then you talk to entrepreneurs that have been in the game for 40 years or whatever, and they're like, yeah, I've had 3 major successes and all of them were lucky breaks. Like I was working hard the whole time and I had 3 home runs, and like you never know when it's going to hit. And so all of this is true. But that also doesn't mean, that you can't see earlier success right now.
Absolutely.
So
right.
Like use those stories as inspiration, but don't use them as a reason
to prolong success.
Not to make the money that you need to make right now in order to stabilize things. Because
I feel
the reality is that you can still work hard on a business on nights and weekends while working a full-time job. That's the reality.
Yeah, I see a lot of people doing it. Right.
Yeah, and that's even harder to do if you have any kind of a like relationship, like very difficult.
Absolutely.
Or a relationship that is working, right?
Yep.
But it's possible. Lots of people do it,
Yep.
But yeah, dude, I would say this is part of the struggle. This is part of the challenge. And everybody has different tolerance for stress and uncertainty around these things. And when you have like these things, these exact same issues with like romantic relationships and partners, the same thing happens with business partners. Same dynamic happens.
Okay.
Or employees and employers, right? Like everyone is dealing with different stuff, and tolerance for uncertainty like sets people's stress triggers off. And what are you going to do? And the answer is include everyone's perspective in your own perspective. Don't be right. Be more open.
Okay.
Just like, because if you're going to be in a relationship with a friend, with a business partner, with an employer, an employee, a team, an upline, a downline, whatever the nature of the relationship is. If you can't include their perspective, you're toast.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
And you need to be able to do that without expecting them to be able to do the same thing.
Sure.
But that's the deal. Like,
Yep.
these same types of things, like imagine how you're feeling, except imagine if you had 40 employees and they all wanted you to make some different decisions than you're making. And they're all like giving you shit about it in different ways.
Your suggestion box is overflowing.
And you think you're on point. You think
Yeah.
you're right. But are you? Don't know.
Right.
Yeah. This is the hard part.
That is the hard part. Yeah.
Welcome. No, it's okay. It's okay. But I would encourage you to be more rigorous about setting time aside for your business and setting time aside for your important relationships that everyone can count on.
Yeah, no, it's important. And yeah, I also am feeling like I need to block some time in just like basic self-care and like recharge.
Yeah, everyone
so
needs
that
to,
I could show up in all the other areas in my business, my relationships, and have energy to give.
That's right.
In all of those areas. Otherwise, I hit a point of just burnout and not having the energy I need to pour into my business and my relationships.
Right.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's the roller coaster.
Yep. On that note, definitely feel grateful to be part of the Get Shit Done community because it's ultra supportive of this exact thing, how to like be most productive and balance all the different aspects of your life and all that. So
cool. Rock and roll. Well, it's great. It's great to have you as part of the community.
Yeah.
Cool. Rock and roll, man. Well, I guess you're going to take tomorrow off and Curtis should be here.
Right. Yeah.
Cool.
Tomorrow's Curtis's day to shine.
Yeah. And then next week we have Angel coming in on Wednesday.
Great.
So,
and she's doing a 90-day run on Wednesdays.
Well, we're going to do our first episode and make sure everybody's cool first. Yeah, like this is cool. First trial run. That's the intention, though. And the intention is she has enough experience, and we've had a couple conversations. It'll probably work out great. But, we haven't done our first episode yet, so we'll see first. But I think the idea is to do a 12-week sprint and see how that feels,
Cool.
So, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
That's it. All right. Well, guys, number one, if you're an entrepreneur, you want to increase your productivity, then go join us at getshitdone.com. And number two, and then I need to roll, Eric, is Pure Path commercial. Yeah.
So I created this Facebook group, the Pure Path, or just Pure Path to Prosperity. And you can find the link in the description at the bottom of the description of this video. And yeah, so now I'm launching my weekly webinar, which is super exciting. It's been a growth edge for me, and I did my first presentation this past Tuesday, and it was great. And I'm going to do it again next Tuesday. So if you'd like to check it out, learn more about the high-ticket network marketing opportunity that I'm working with Kangen water ionizers and all the ways that you can supercharge your health and vitality and work towards your financial future and with this opportunity, be sure and check out Pure Path to Prosperity. And we're going to be talking about all kinds of great stuff in there too.
That's the name of the game.
That's it.
Rock and roll, Eric. Cool, man. Well, I hope you have a great day, and thank you as always for co-hosting with me. And I guess that's all for now.
That's all for now. All right.
Rock and roll. All right, guys. We'll see you later.
See you later.
Toodles.